to life.
Welcome, everyone. So Patty has returned from a trip to the Holy Land. She was in Israel and in Egypt, and she said she already knew so much because of my teachings, and that really excited me. I guess some of the symbols, the gods, the goddesses, and numerology, I think, showed up on the tours that she took. So if you're interested in hearing more, hit Patty up after the class, because I'm sure she's got a lot of great stories. I remember years ago in Half Moon, one of our teachers, Kate, had taken a trip to Mount, I just forgot the name of it, the one in Africa, Kilimanjaro? Yes. And I was like, you know what? So many people want to hear about this trip. Let's just create like a talk. So anybody that wants to show up can just hear all about your adventure. So if I was in charge, I'd be saying, let's all be to hear the stories from that. Anyway, what we've been on, and I was in a total rush this morning, that I left my Russian dolls in the car, but those Russian stackable dolls I brought in here, I believe on Monday, so that you could see them. And each time you open them up, there's a smaller one, and another smaller one, and another smaller one. And oftentimes the yogis will describe the koshas as being like one of those stackable dolls. And koshas mean a layer or a casing that surrounds the soul. And so basically it's the layers of our being. And the outermost layer that we've already discussed is the physical body, what's visible to the eye. The other four are more subtle and invisible to the eye. But even though they're invisible, they can be felt and experienced firsthand. And the second layer we've already discussed was the pranamaya kosha, which is the breath body, or the layer of energy. We can feel day to day if we're high or low in energy. We can walk into a space and feel if it's good vibes or tension in the air. By the way, I found a new crystal shop that opened up in Old Hickory yesterday. I'd heard about it. It opened during the pandemic. It has such high good vibes in it. It's a beautiful boutique called Southern Crystal Company. Highly recommend you going if you're ever on that side of Nashville. So when I walked into that space yesterday, it was like, oh, it felt so good. So we can have that experience even though we can't see what that is. The third layer is the mental layer, right? We are embedded in the mind, but we don't want the mind to be just isolated to the brain alone. The mind is actually encased in the whole body. Science is showing more and more that there's neurons in the heart. People that have had heart transplants actually have memory recall of the other person's life. That's phenomenal. It's extraordinary. So it's not just the thoughts, it's our perceptions, it's our emotions, it's our dreams, it's our fantasies, it's our memory recall. And then we go more subtle than that, the layer we talked about last week in the Sanskrit, it's too hard for me to pronounce. So it's the layer of discernment, or the layer of higher wisdom in the mind. It's our intuitive knowing, right? Have you ever been in the Chick-fil-A line and there's like 2 lines you can go through, right? And your intuition is telling you to go into the one that's longer, but your logical mind is saying, get in the shorter lane. And so you switch, and this can happen at the airport too with lines of security, and you don't listen to your intuition. You go into what appears to be shorter, and then you're kicking yourself because you're seeing all those other people pass you by, right? That's the layer that we're talking about last week. Then we go more subtle than that. When we go more subtle than that, it's the bliss body. Oh, it gives me chills. It's the place of ecstasy. So I kind of compare these moments. Now, these moments are due to other things. So it actually goes above and beyond this, but just to give you an example, it's like the moment after orgasm and you're just in your lover's arms. pure bliss, right? It's the moment where you have birthed your baby and you're finally holding the baby in your arms and you're gazing into their eyes. Ah, pure bliss. It's the moment where you arrive at the seashore and you're barefoot on the beach and you're just swamped by the environment and the ocean and the horizon and the skies and the sounds and the smells, and you're just becoming one with the ocean. Ecstasy, right? Just peaceful. That is the innermost layer where you know that you're close to the soul. You're close to the true essence of who you are. Some yogis will say, that is it. And some yogis say, you're so close. You're almost there. You're tapped in. You're touching the soul. So however you want to look at it is fine. But it's the Anandamaya Kosha. So for today, we're going pretty much mostly restorative, which is one reason I have you at the wall. And we're going to do a little active, but nothing strenuous. And those of you at home, if you don't have a clear wall space, when we do the wall push, down dog. When we do Uttanasana against the wall, do the regular forward fold. When we do legs up the wall, you could do Stonehenge or put your legs on a chair. All right, let's get going. So let's start sitting and breathing. So if you want to sit with back support against the wall, and if you don't have a wall, sit on a cushion. Let your spine align as it extends upward towards the heavens above. Let your elbows and shoulders soften. And let your seat root down. Once you feel the ground beneath you, once you get your spine aligned, begin to align your inner awareness to your breath. If your back is against the wall, notice the movement in your back body as you take deep breaths. Feeling the lungs up as you inhale, emptying them as you exhale. Receive this prana on the in-breath. Move out toxins on the out-breath. It is possible to use your breath to breathe your way into a state of bliss. If you've ever done a full breathing meditation, you know what I'm saying. The breath is that layer between the mind and the body, so it can have an impact and positive influence on both. The breath is said to be gifted to us from the divine. That brings us back into the connection of God, universal consciousness, source energy, great spirit, whatever you term it to be. Let's bring our hands to prayer position at the heart to set an intention. Use this practice as a way to tap in to our bliss body. Whether we're steeping in silence or being contemplative, being active or passive. And let's draw the thumbs up to the brow. This place of our intuitive mindset. Let's allow this layer of intuition to guide us in our practice. So that we are creating comfort in our bodies, not pushing ourselves in those active positions. And we'll go ahead and lower the hands down. Go ahead and peel the lids of the eyes up. And we're gonna go ahead and come up to stand. You guys look so good against the wall. When we come up to stand, we're gonna get into our first active pose. And you guys at home can do down dog if you don't have a wall. Basically, you're turning to face the wall. Your hands are gonna be shoulder distance apart. You're gonna step back into your feet. Push back through your thigh bones. Lengthen out through the vertebrae. Creating kind of a 90-degree angle with your physical form. So let the head roll down in between the upper arm bones. So you're looking down towards the texture of your mat or the color of your mat. From this variation of downward facing dog, you can step your left foot forward, close to the baseboard. Lunge that knee, bend the elbows, uplift the crown of your head, and push back and down into your right calf and heel. So it's like a wall variation of warrior one. Hands at the wall. Good, now step back into the wall push or downward facing dog. Step through with your right foot. Slightly spin your left toes out. Lunge the right knee. And really apply that pressure down through the back leg into your calf and heel. Gaze straight ahead with your eyes. All right, last wall push. Go ahead and step back. Turn the toes, point towards the wall. Feet parallel to each other as you press back. And then when you're ready, step it forward towards the wall. Turn so that your right side body is facing the wall. Your right arm is going to reach back behind you. Those of you at home, if you don't have a wall for that, you can move into this position on your side with your right arm behind your shoulder. Those of you standing, push down through the soles of the feet, ignite the work up through your legs, and feel that deep stretch in the right shoulder, arm, and chest. Channel the breath, open it up. Release the right hand, slowly turn the other direction. Line up the feet first. Take the left arm up second. Face in front of you, chin parallel to the earth. Legs engaged. Core engaged. Keep the breath wide open. Exhale, slip that left hand down. This is where you might need a block or a bolster, okay? I'll show you really quick what we're gonna do. If you don't have wall space at home, do your regular Uttanasana. If you're doing Uttanasana from the wall, your feet are not gonna touch the baseboard because we have padding back here. So your feet are gonna step forward so that you're barely touching the wall. And then if you're pretty tight, right, maybe you need to just hang out here. Maybe you can bring the forehead down and let your arms dangle. You might be a little bit more flexible than that. And it may be that you can stack your blocks to place the head upon. You may need to arrange the blocks with different heights, depending on where you're at, depending on the flexibility in your hamstrings. So you don't have to go to your full 100% range of motion here, since we're trying to be a little bit more restorative. Close the eyes. And immerse yourself in breath. That vital life force energy. It's okay if you need a little soft bend in your knees. And then you make the breath like a whisper. So you can hear that soft, sacred sound. We're going to hold for 7 more breaths. Completion of those 7. If you have the blocks, you can stack them underneath your hands and lift your head and your heart. If you need to come on up, if you're using a bolster, that's okay. We're just trying to level out that blood flow. Excuse me, so we don't have that blood rush to the head. And then if you want to crawl all the blocks forward to lower down to the knees, you can. I feel like I need to give you guys a visual of this next pose because we haven't done it at the wall in a long time. And we'll first demonstrate it for those of you at home that may not have a wall available. You're going to do a waterfall this way, block under the sacrum with the legs lifted in the air. But I thought since we're using the wall, we could do it the other way. So first of all, to get onto your back, you get on the side of your mat, you lower into a side fetal position, and then you roll back. And this gives you legs up the wall. So if we want to lift the pelvis into waterfall, we have to use the strength of the legs. We bend the knees, push the feet into the wall to elevate the hips. The bolster, lift up high enough so that the bolster comes all the way under. And then you're going to lower back to it, like so. And I can help you if you need assistance. So you're lying in that side fetal position at the corner of your mat. Roll to your back, line up your legs, and then bend the knees, push the feet into the wall to tuck and lift the tailbone. That's it. Scoot that bolster under your body and then gently come back down. Yeah, let's see, Susan?
Not too far away.
Yeah, I think you are. Yeah, just shimmy closer and then try again. There you go, that's gonna work.
Now, is it the bolster up against the wall or back under my seat?
I usually have it slightly away from the wall, but that's me. I think it gives more space to the belly if you do that. All right, now you can really start to relax. Hopefully it's comfortable for you. If it's not comfortable, I do not expect you to stay in it. So if you need to take the bolster away and just be lined up on your back with legs up the wall, that's okay too, but that will be the next pose we're going to. So here you're in waterfall pose. And any type of inversion we do, it's going to be calming for the mind and the nervous system. And that's needed, especially around this time of the month, because the full moon is tomorrow. So let your eyes close. And take the journey within. Affirming mentally to yourself, new peace, new consciousness floods down and through my being. A new state of peace, a new state of consciousness is flooding down and through my being. We're going to do a guided meditation here. So if you gaze towards the mind's eye at the center of the brow, it will help to ignite your inner visions. I want you to envision that coming down from the feet, cascading down through the legs, is a waterfall colored in red. Think about the rush of the stream of a waterfall plummeting from the cliffs down to the pool of water or river below. And let this cleanse and purify the first chakra. The energy center that concerns our foundation, our ancestral roots, conditioning, our family unit. Feel as though the water is purifying these areas of your life. Now imagine the rush of the waterfall has turned to orange. Symbolizes the second energy center. What concerns our relations, work, but it also has a lot to do with our acceptance, adaptability, moving past shame and guilt. Feel as though this rush of water is purifying these areas in your life. Now view this waterfall as being bright yellow. This energy center that symbolizes our personality, our likes and dislikes, our ego, our willpower. It makes us feel strong, but allows us to persevere, especially through the trials of life. Imagine that this water is cleansing and purifying these areas of our life. Now picture that waterfall turning green. Color symbolic of the heart chakra. A place that is said to be the seat of the soul. Love, passion, empathy stem from. When balanced, brings a sense of harmony. May the water purify our hearts, our soul. And then picture the water turning to aquamarine, similar to the Caribbean or Mediterranean Sea. This color that symbolizes throat center, the way we express our individuality, our truth, our emotions. May the water purify this region and this area of our life. And switch it to the color blue, what represents the third eye, our all-seeing eye, that gives us a bigger, broader perspective of things, that allows us to be more tolerant and less opinionated, more intuitive. May this water cleanse and purify this area of our life. And allowing the blue to turn to purple. That's symbolic of the crown chakra. It's color that can be royal. This place where people set a crown upon their head. This area that symbolizes our wisdom, our oneness,
and our connection to the divine. You've been feeling any separateness. Imagine the waters are pouring in to cleanse and purify that in those areas of your life. Now imagine the rainbow of colors is turned to pure white. Feel as though it's cascading from the cliffs, being represented by the feet, pouring down into the pool of water below that represents the belly, trickling down towards the lake, the heart, and mind. Imagine buried down deep below the surface of the lake is the pot of gold. The gold that represents your gifts, your talents, your uniqueness, your worthiness, your abundance, your hidden treasures, gifts, and medicines. Begin developing a deeper flow of breath, feeling the belly rise up on the inhale, fall in on the exhale. Slide your feet down the wall, push them into the wall to tuck the tailbone, to slide the bolster away, and then you're going to lower the hips back to the earth. And take regular Vaparita Karani legs up the wall. Now the low back gets to flatten down. This will help to secure the finger bones into the pelvis. Both of these poses help to drain the lymph fluid from the legs. Now see if you can breathe your way into a state of bliss. Let your hands rest on your lower belly. Going to continue to relax, restore, and renew. But we're going to change our positioning. So I want you to slide your feet about, I don't know, 20 inches apart. And then slide the feet down the wall. Let your arms fall away by the wayside, palms open. Let your feet slightly spin out. Toes pointed away from your midline. Let your knees flop open and stay grounded on your back. Those of you at home, if you don't have a wall, you can just hold and tuck the knees in to the stirrup or tree frog variation. Move back into your breath. Rest and renew. Keep trying to breathe your way into a state of bliss. Remember, we're trying to get out of the mind stuff. So if your mind starts rambling, know that you can loosen your grip by withdrawing away, moving into the space, the aftermath of that thought. If the sensation is overriding the bliss, try sliding the feet together. Let the knees stay apart. like butterfly. Seven more breaths. You're ready. Draw the feet and the knees together. And then let them roll away to your left side. And extend your right arm to the right side. Knees to the left, right arm to the right. You could be in an A-frame form with that right arm. It doesn't have to be out like a T. If you find that this is taking you deeper than you want to be, you can grab your bolster to go in between your thighs, so it's not as much for your low back, or completely tucked under the knees. Either way. The twister cleansing and can help things move along internally. Promoting better digestion and assimilation. Affirming mentally to yourself, I am opening up the flow of energy within. I am opening up the flow of energy within. Oftentimes people will compare the nervous system to an electrical system. Just like some people compare the digestive system to be like our inner plumbing system. So if we want things to become unstuck or unplugged, it requires positioning and breathing. So breathe well. Take a deep breath in. Contract your core a little to slide the feet back to the wall, knees to center. Exhale, let the knees roll off to the right. Left arm to the left. And again, if there's a gap between the legs, maybe a bolster can slip in between. Or underneath the knees all together. Sometimes when there's a gap, if we just stay in place, if it's not painful, we can start to open up some of that connective tissue that's gotten tight. As long as you can still openly breathe, it's okay to stay with sensation. Opening myself up to a new flow, energy within. Some yogis will compare the deep meditative state called samadhi as that place of arrival into this kosha or layer we're talking about today. That place where we're not really thinking, just being. In that space of deep, profound peace, despite the chaos of the world. Go ahead and gently roll to your right side. Tuck your right arm up underneath your right ear. Slowly elevate yourself up to take a seat. I'm going to show you, we're going to do a heart opening position, and then you're going to get a little yoga nidra. So you can be on your knees, but we're going to lift up like standing Vajrasana. The hands are going to lift to the wall, and then we're just going to drop the head and the heart like this. And if you don't have a wall at home, you could do Anahatasana, which is similar to what we're doing at the wall. So hands up, stationed on the chin. Just kind of hanging in the shoulders. Draping down with the belly. Opening up the heart. And take 7 deep breaths. After your 7 is complete, slowly exit out, slide your hands down.
So I'm gonna give you a choice for the end. If you really need legs up the wall, it really is medicinal for insomnia, and the full moon's tomorrow. If you've already had restless nights of sleep, that would actually be very helpful. If you really needed that heart opener just now, and you're feeling like, I've been a little lonely, I've been feeling a little grieved, or feeling isolated from this pandemic, or, you know, some sadness, it would be better and more medicinal for you to open up your heart. And if neither one of those is the case for you, and you just really love the bolster underneath your thighs and knees, you can place it there and take the corpse pose like this. So just consider yourself, your life, your feelings, and what I just explained. Take that into account. And set yourself up appropriately. Check in also, if you grabbed a blanket, you may need a blanket under your head like a pillow. Or maybe your body temperature has dropped and you need to wrap your body up in a blanket. And if you don't have one but need one, let me know, I'll bring one to you. Once you get settled down into a relaxed state with your body, we're going to do what's called Yoga Nidra. Just a little taste of it. I want you to imagine coming down into your right hand. Checking out your right thumb. When you bring your attention to it, relax it from the inside out. Do the same to the right forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky. Relax your palm from the inside out. Bring that relaxation up through the right arm, as well as the right shoulder. You're going to send that wave of relaxation to stream down your right side body. Go slowly. Let it trickle down through the side ribs, the waist, the hip, outer thigh, knee, and ankle. We'll cross over, place our attention into the left hand, more specifically the left thumb, and relaxing it from the inside out. Do the same, forefinger, middle finger,
ring finger, and pinky. Bring that relaxation into the palm of your left hand. Let it travel up through the left arm to the shoulder. And let it stream down the left side body. Slowly trickling through the ribs, the waist, the hip, outer thigh, knee, calf, and ankle. Then we'll bring the attention and relaxation up to the brow, to the skin surrounding the eyes, to the cheeks, to the mouth, jaw. Relax the throat, your chest, the belly. Bring a softness to the front side of your legs, to the top portions of your feet, and all 10 toes. And slide that awareness through the back of the body, relaxing the head, your neck, relaxing your back, your buttocks, the back side of the legs. Affirming quietly within. I am bliss. I am bliss. Then I want you to move deep within the realm of your psyche, into the realm of your imagination. And I want you to transport yourself to your favorite place, to the place that makes you and allows you to feel bliss. Whether that's the woods, whether it's the mountains, whether it's the beach, or a garden. Taking in the sights, smells, sounds, the beauty, the wonder, the peace. Affirming, I am bliss. Transporting yourself back to this Zen space. Dropping back down into your body. And then reawakening the breath. Once and until you enliven the breath, you can bring a little movement to your hands and feet. And eventually exiting out of the pose that you chose. So maybe just bending your knees. Perhaps swishing them side to side. Rolling over to one, coming up eventually to sit. Sitting upright, eyes closed. And hopefully you got a glimpse or a moment of experiencing that internal ecstasy that's not dependent on anything or anyone. This is you tapping into your soul's essence. This is what is needed during trying times like these, to keep us sane, keep us balanced, and to keep us free from fear. So I encourage you to keep up your practice. Bringing your hands together to prayer position at your heart. Om, Om, Om. The light and the love that I hold within my heart bows to the beauty of the light and love that you hold within yours. Namaste.
Thanks you guys for joining.